Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and this video is going to be all about social media for freelance writers. Now, I had one of my email subscribers actually email out and saying that he's getting ready to get started freelance writing. He's trying to figure out kind of what is the next steps and trying to figure out if he needs to have Twitter and LinkedIn and different social media platforms. So in this video, I want to share with you why it's so important to have your social media on point, the biggest platforms that will help you attract your dream clients, how I use Instagram to get a $4,000 client, and a lot more. So make sure you stay tuned, watch this whole video, because we're gonna show you how to easily make sure your social media dominates online so you can get clients as a writer. Let's go. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Leonard. I am a full-time copywriter and creator of Inspire Your Success, a blog, podcast, and YouTube channel dedicated to helping people start digital entrepreneurship, freelance writing, online courses, and so much more. So again, my goal with this video is to specifically get into how to make sure your social media attracts clients as a freelance writer. So if you aren't sure what freelance writing is, make sure to grab the card up above and make sure to watch that video. But again, freelance writing to me is the #1 side hustle for 2019 and beyond, because again, it can be a side hustle. You can make a couple $100, even a couple $1,000, or you can easily make full-time income as a writer. The cool thing with freelance writing, again, is that it doesn't take much money up front. You probably already have a lot of the skills, not to mention you already have a lot of the knowledge that's needed for writing. So again, this channel has a lot of different videos and a playlist, so make sure you grab the link down below for more freelance writing videos. But again, freelance writing is the spot to go, because blogging is great, but it takes a while. Podcasting can take a while. If you need money now in 2019 quickly, freelance writing is the spot. So what we're going to talk about in this video is social media specifically. So if you're a freelance writer, it's going to be different than if you're a blogger, because bloggers need to be on social media. They need to be on Pinterest and Instagram and all these different platforms, constantly putting out blog posts or videos and things like that. You're trying to build a tribe. You're trying to get that community. But as a freelance writer, a lot of people think they can kind of slack off and they just need to have a LinkedIn and maybe a writing website. But the truth is that you want to spend some time, and having a social media presence can absolutely help you. Again, I mentioned in the intro, I was able to land over $4,000 worth of work from one client just because he really liked my videos on Instagram. He went, saw some of my work on my profile, and then again, we've been working together, and it will yield a lot more money as well. So I could probably say at least 5 to 10K from 1 or 2 videos that he saw. So it's important to make sure you're on social media, because again, you control your brand. That's the thing, is that personal branding and freelance writing, they kind of go together. Because when you're cold pitching clients and you're reaching out to job boards and networking and things like that, people are going to Google your name, they're going to search for you. And if you don't have a good social media and you're going against someone that does have a large social media, it's going to be easy for them to pick someone else. So the thing is that you don't have to be everywhere. You don't have to post 10 times a day on 12 platforms and do all this stuff. But you do need to have some consistency, and again, set up your handles. So I want to dive in now kind of behind the scenes, and I'll show you exactly what mine look like, some of the top freelancers that I know, and again, just some more information to help you crush it with your social media so you can land big clients. All right, guys, let's kind of dive into each platform, and I'll go through, again, what mine look like just to give you some ideas, and again, that way you can set yours up to attract your ideal client here for social media. So the biggest thing that I recommend is to get on Instagram. Instagram is blowing up. It is the one that you think about when you wake up, when you're thinking about it when you're bored at work. People think about it, all the time. People spend so much time on it. It's owned by Facebook. Over 1 billion people are using it a month. This is a huge opportunity for you as a writer to land clients, not only locally, but globally. So this is a giant mistake if you're not using Instagram. So as you can tell here, the first thing is I have it called out in my name, or in my name field here. I have Michael Leonard, copywriter. The reason you want to do that is because the way Instagram it's very hard to SEO it. There just isn't many fields. It's not like Google and YouTube where you have a little more SEO tactics. But with this, you can actually kind of game the system. So if you're a copywriter or just a writer or a coach or whatever you are, you always want to make sure that you have that in the field here because, again, that will help you come up. So that's the first thing. But I did skip ahead. So the first thing I also actually want to talk about is to make sure it is your name. It's not some, cheesy thing that you would have had in high school or college. Like, you want to make sure it is your name. If your name's taken, you can do the real or I am, like mine is, maybe add a number to it. But I would try to get your name as the handle. If you have a writing business, an actual LLC for it, you can also do that as well. But again, I think that is crucial so that way people searching you can find you. And then again, make sure your full name is spelled out there. And then from there, just a little thing, kind of a random trick I learned is the profile picture. So this profile picture is actually all over. It's on my Twitter. It's on my, let's see here. It's on my LinkedIn. So this is super important. It seems very, very minuscule, but the thing is that you want to have the same profile picture on all of your platforms, including Medium and YouTube and everywhere else. Even your email signatures, because this can help people start to recognize you. So if you share something on Twitter and then you comment on Instagram and then you maybe have a video on Facebook, new people might see you, and that little thing of seeing the same image will realize that, hey, this Michael Leonard, he's really all over it. He's on social media. He's omnipresent. And that's going to help you because, again, it's just a numbers game. Same with pitching and getting new clients, right? So I want to make sure that you have this really filled out, simple and easy tricks. So again, that's kind of the first thing that I recommend on Instagram. And then from there, make it clear what you do. What kind of copy do you write? So I write epic copy for entrepreneurs. I call it out right there. And then again, I have a little bit more here because I have my podcast, I do coaching, and then I obviously have my entire brand, Inspire Your Success. So I have all of that here. But you want to make sure that you have something relating to your business. You don't want to just have, that you're a dog mom or you have cats or you live in, somewhere specific. Like, you want to really narrow in because you don't have much space, like I mentioned with Instagram, to get some SEO content and kind of gamify the system. So you want to make sure that you include what type of copy or content you write for, if you've been featured anywhere. So before I kind of went full on with the podcast and YouTube, I used to have featured in Fearless Motivation Goalcast. So if you're in Entrepreneur, if you're in Rockstar Finance or Goalcast, wherever you're at, again, make sure you're calling out big publications because that adds credibility to you as a writer. So again, you don't have much time to really generate interest from people. They have short attention spans. So you want to make sure you have everything on that Instagram as soon as they log on, make it super easy. So again, fill out these. I like using emojis on the left. I think it kind of breaks the text up. And again, if you are brand new to Instagram and don't really use it much, make sure you write it line by line on a note on your phone and then go in on your app and copy and paste it. That will make sure it's spaced out correctly. And then again, that's just the description. So from there, you want to either link to a links in your bio like this, or you want to link to your freelance writing website. So here's the difference. So again, with my business, I have more than just one thing. So that's why I have this links in bio. So basically that gives me the ability to have like 7 or 8 links if they click on this one, as opposed to just going to Inspire Your Success or my freelance writing website. So again, make sure your website and your one link is used properly. If you're just freelance writing, you don't have a blog, you don't have a podcast, you're just committed to being a writer, just make sure you have that on there. The links in the bio, I pay $5 a month for this. So again, with this, I have my Freelance to 5K, my course, I have Work With Me, I have different links to my podcast, YouTube, Let Me Write Your Content. You can customize all this in the links in bio, but if you have more than one thing, it's super helpful. Or you can also link to your social media as well from here. So like check me out on Twitter or watch my videos on Facebook or YouTube, whatever. So I think that's helpful as well. So again, either link to your writing website or have this links in the bio. All right, so let's dive in. Before we even get into the content, let's go over these things. These are called highlights. And if you don't have an Instagram or you're not really big on it yet, highlights are basically kind of the biggest things. These are my highlights about my freelance to 5K, my online course. I have one on my writing where I've shared at, so you can see, again, if someone brand new lands on my Instagram, they instantly know, okay, this guy has a course, he's a writer, he's an entrepreneur, he's trying to be a professional golfer. I mean, I make it really clear. So you want to have highlights that are beneficial. If you even have one or two, that's better than none. And again, as a freelance writer, I highly recommend that you have one that links to your most popular articles, just screenshots, could link to professional photos. If you go to events, things like that, anything that builds your credibility and builds your rapport, you want to include it here in the highlight section. And this looks pretty nice. These little cover photos that I added, these are literally, I just made them on canva.com, but they look nice. So again, you want to try and have branding, so that way if you have maybe a specific color on your writing website, have the same color used in these, or have a theme for your Instagram. That kind of makes it nice. As you can tell, I have my 3 colors kind of throughout my content here, and it's all super clear. So again, very small stuff on Instagram, but I want to make sure you have that. The last thing I wanted to talk about was your content made. I have a nice caption here, freelance writer, hashtag side hustle. And then I included personal brand, side hustle, digital marketer, copywriter, things like that. So make sure your content, one, looks good. You can tell I have a color theme here. I have nice photos. They're not blurry. They're very bright. They're usually showing cool things. You want to have a profile that, again, attracts your ideal client. So think about who they would want to work with. And again, you don't have to do these specific type of photos, but if you can pick a color, great. And if you can use the right hashtags, copywriter, content writer, and then your niche, if you're in entrepreneurship or personal development, personal finance, health and fitness, whatever it is, use those hashtags that you think clients are using as well, because if they go to click on theirs, they might see your post, click over to your profile and see that you're a writer and might want to work with you. So again, this is super easy. I'm going to do a full, way more in-depth one on Instagram because this is a huge gold mine in my opinion. But again, that's kind of the overview. All right, guys, next up is LinkedIn. So again, Instagram is great. It's probably one of my favorite social media platforms. It's how I landed a client that's paid me $4,000 or $5,000 already and wants to keep working more because he saw my content on there. So again, I can't stress this enough. Use Instagram, even if you're posting once every few days, like just get something up there. The next thing though is LinkedIn. And if you are in a 9-to-5, I'm sure you know about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is basically the Facebook for professional relationships, if you will. And LinkedIn is a gold mine for freelance writers. So you'll want to check out my other video I have specifically about landing clients on LinkedIn. But again, this is just kind of an overview of what your social media profile should look like, because again, you only get one impression. It doesn't last very long, but you want to make the best of it. And the cool thing with LinkedIn is that you can SEO it more. You can add your writing articles. You can link to your websites, work you've been featured in. You have a lot more flexibility than Instagram. So here is kind of what I have for my LinkedIn. Again, I have my podcast on here. Mine's going to be a little different since I have a podcast and more of a brand as well. But I have where I've been featured at. Again, guys, that same photo is being used. Make sure you have the same photo. I don't care about looking fancy on LinkedIn like I used to, because I'll never work in a 9-to-5 for as long as I care for. So I don't care about dressing up in a suit. If that's your style, again, make sure you have that same photo on all your platforms. And then from there, I just talk about what I am and, what kind of writing I do. I'm a professional writer. I'm a creator of Inspire Your Success. I've been featured in Life Hacker, Addicted to Success, Rockstar Finance. Like, just call this stuff out. Make sure people know you in your About section, because they might not scroll down all the way. And then I also have just a little bit here, like, hey, here's my email, Michael@Inspire Your Success. You want to just make it easy for people to say yes and to reach out to you and contact you. So from there, then I have some of my content that I share. So I share my YouTube videos on here, blog posts, relevant articles. So you want to have that. Again, you don't have to post much on here, but if you do, if you have articles, things like that. But the biggest thing is that you want to have in your experience, you want to mention that you're a writer, because this will help you with SEO. So when people go onto LinkedIn, clients go on there and they type in, you know, freelance writer, personal finance, or freelance writer for fitness, or copywriting, or whatever they look for. If you have the same terms in your LinkedIn profile, it can help you rank in search results, which then again will help you get contacted and hopefully get landed for the gigs. So again, for mine, I have a little bit of you know, my own brand here: Inspire Your Success, creator, podcast coach, podcast host. So I have that, but then I have my personal stuff here. So michaelleonard.net, I link to it there, talk about the type of content that I write. I link to some of these pieces that have been published. And they're actually pretty big. I mean, some of these have had like 5,000, 10,000 shares. So, you know, link to your most popular articles, mention that you're a content writer, a freelance writer, a copywriter, whatever you are. So that way it can help you with search results. So again, make sure you check out the full LinkedIn video that I have on the channel as well. But again, this is just making sure that you're branding right on social media. So if you only have time for two, I personally would recommend Instagram and LinkedIn. Instagram's easy to use. People are there all the time. LinkedIn's growing. I think Microsoft bought them for like $21 billion or something last year or the year before. So they're investing heavily in it. You know, Facebook is more for like Facebook ads. Personally, I very rarely use Facebook for much of my business or personal, other than kind of like looking at ads and trying to understand funnels and stuff. So for me personally, if you just stopped watching now, I would recommend, as a writer, your social media should be LinkedIn and Instagram. But if you want to be an overachiever, make sure your Facebook is optimized as well. So this doesn't take much time here, guys. You know, you want to make sure to have it. I am guilty here. I should probably update my photo, so I will listen to my own advice. But then again, copywriter and creator of Inspire Your Success. I want to be consistent. I want to have that same branding, and you should too. So again, I link to all of my social media here on the left. I have my writing website, my personal blog, you know, and then I have professional photos. You know, far back, there's a lot of drunk Facebook photos on there from college and stuff, but cleaned it up a little bit. You know, this is the same image that I have on my blog. This is me and my girlfriend at a business conference that we go to. So again, make sure your Facebook is showing the best you. Sometimes clients will even add you on there. It can be a little awkward at times, but you know, you want to make sure if people find you online, it is super consistent and shows that you're a credible and authoritative freelance writer. All right, and then the last platform that you want to be on is Twitter. Twitter is great for writers for many reasons, but again, it's something I wish I would have done. I only have about 2,000 followers. I haven't been consistent on it. When I was blogging and writing and doing all these other things, I did not focus enough on social media. So that's a big growth point for me here in 2019 and beyond. But with Twitter, it's not only good to announce what you do as a content writer or copywriter, but it is also a place you can find gigs. So if you follow certain accounts and hashtags, you can also find work that way. But again, the whole point of this video is to make sure your profiles attract the you know, right type of client. So again, right here, as soon as you land on my page, got that same photo, copywriter, podcaster. You know, this is super simple, but I have it right here in the description. Copywriter, podcaster. I write epic entrepreneurship and digital marketing content. Check my writing website to learn how we can work together. Boom, links to it right there, and they go to it. So again, you don't have to share a ton of content on here. You don't have to waste all this time. If you want to do a lot of content sharing, I recommend batching it using you know, automated platforms like Buffer or other similar services. That way you can pump out content. But for the most part, all I want you to do is make sure everything's set up. So that way you own the hashtags, or not own the hashtags, you own the usernames, you have a presence. So if people Google you, which they will, this again will help you kind of have it all on lock. So again, that is the quick overview of Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. So those are the big four. And again, if you only have two, I recommend LinkedIn and Instagram. Well, hopefully that was helpful and you learned a lot more about social media for your freelance writing, because again, this is a way that you can control your brand, you can get the right message out to potential clients, and you can just start attracting them in with your content. So again, make sure you go through the ones. I highly recommend LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter can be good. If you already have a big audience on one, make sure you double down as well, because again, you want to have that clout, you want to have the following, because that alone can help clients kind of choose you over someone that might not have as much social media. Now, this is one of the biggest regrets I have in my own personal career, is that I didn't get started earlier. So make sure you avoid that mistake and speed up your success by getting active on social media. Now, if you guys have any questions about this stuff, again, always let me know in the comments. I want to help you out, so make sure to ask me down below. And if you want more resources on freelance writing, I have a ton of content, so make sure to check out the description. We got video playlists, we got more videos, we got blog posts, and a lot more. So check that out, and again, I want to help you speed up success. So if this was helpful for you, make sure to share it with someone that you think could also benefit, and subscribe and like this as well. So thanks again, I really appreciate you being here, and hopefully this will help you crush it as a freelance writer. Have an epic day.